Hey everyone, it's Kino here. Thanks so much for tuning in and welcome to this 4-part summer yoga course. This is a great course for you if you want to jumpstart your yoga practice for the summer. I'm coming to you here from Miami Beach, which is kind of the land of perpetual summer. Let's jump right into a practice that will help reignite those inner fires and bring you into the perfect state of an equanimous mind for a beautiful, happy summer and really a beautiful, happy, and peaceful life. Bring your hands together and we'll initiate the sacred space of the practice with the sound Om. Tuning into the inner body, we're ready to begin. We'll start off on the hands and knees. So on a nice easy way, we'll come on to the hands and knees. Align your hands, shoulder width apart. The knees just a hair closer together than your hips width apart. And we'll move through some easy cat-cow movements to warm up the spine. Inhale, reaching forward and extending the spine. Exhale, round the back and pull it in. Inhale, extending the spine. Exhale, round the back and pull it in. Inhale, extending the spine. Exhale, pull in the belly, round the back, and pull it in. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, extending the spine. Exhale, rounding the back, pull it in. And let's hold this position for about 5 breaths. 1. I like to call this the hands and knees plank. It's great for warming up the shoulders, warming up the abs. 2. 3. Pull the belly inside. 4. And curl your toes under and let's push all the way back to downward facing dog. 5 breaths here in downward facing dog as your belly pulls deeply in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's come on down onto your knees. Open the knees a little bit and we'll sink back down into this nice open child's pose, reaching your hands forward, resting your forehead down. Another 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and bringing the chest up. Bring your knees together for the full child's pose. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then inhale. Let's come all the way back up onto your hands and knees, spreading your shoulders again about spreading your shoulders and your hands about shoulder width apart. Curl your toes under, and this time instead of the hands and knees plank, let's come all the way up to the plank, and we're going to hold it for 5. 1, 2, 3. Pull the belly inside. 4 and 5. Come down onto the knees and we'll strengthen the shoulders again. Exhale, dip your chest down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, dip down. This is a little different than the cat-cow movement. This is to strengthen the shoulders and target the core. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, dip down. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, dip down. Inhale, big push, take it up. 3 more. Exhale, down. Inhale, big push, take it up. Exhale, down. Inhale, big push, take it up. 1 more. Exhale, down. Inhale, big push, take it up. Curl your toes under and again, push back to downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and come down onto the knees. Let's open the knees for that relaxed, widened child's pose, putting your forehead down. And if it's comfortable for you this time, you're going to lift the head up, walking your hands forward, rest the chest down. 2, 3, 4, and knees together, full child's pose for a moment. 2, 3, 4, and inhale, come all the way back up to your hands and knees. And we'll do some leg extensions. So, pulling the belly deeply in, bring your right leg back, and inhale, lift the right leg, and we'll hold it up for 5, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, keep the belly inside, keep the mind calm. Tune into the inner body, find that perfect mix of just enough challenge and just enough bit of relaxation. 4 and 5. Exhale, placing that right knee down, Draw the belly deeper in, and let's move on to the left side. Inhale, left leg up. Keep the belly pulled deeply in. 1, and reach back with the left toes. 2, 3, 4, and exhale, sink the knee down. Now let's do the opposite, arm and leg lifts. Inhale, right leg and left arm. 1, 2, reach it long across the body. 3, 4, and 5. Exhale down, and let's switch the sides. Opposites. 1, so that's right arm and left leg. 2, keep your gaze down on your mat. 3, 4, and 5. Exhale all the way down. Curl your toes under and press all the way back to downward facing. Again, 5 breaths in downward facing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this time let's come forward to plank. From the plank pose, we hold for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and place your knees down. Exhale all the way down on your stomach. Now, from here, we're going to start to work our back bends a little bit more. So pointing the toes, come up onto your elbows. Inhale the Sphinx pose, lifting your chest up and forward. Let your glutes, your butt muscles be nice and soft. Draw the belly in and really use your quadriceps. 1, tune into the inner body and lift the ribs away from the hips. 3, find a calm and peaceful center, a calm and equanimous mind. 4, and 5. Exhale, send the chest down. Rest for a moment. Crossing your hands, forehead down, soften the thighs. Then inhale, lifting your kneecaps. Come back into the Sphinx pose, another 5 breaths. Inhale, lift the center of the chest. 1, root down into the elbows and think about space along the inner body. Root your mind down into a place of imperturbable peace deep in the center of yourself. 3, 4, and 5. Exhale down. Rest your head right on your hands. And now we're going to lift the legs. Draw the belly inside. Inhale, lift the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale down. Inhale, lift the right leg. 1, keep the belly inside. Make contact with the inner body. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, inhale, lift both legs. 1, 2, try to keep the butt as soft as you can. Let the movement happen deep from the inner body. Belly stays in. 3, 4, and legs down. Okay, now that you feel that your body's welcoming the sensation of energy rising up the spine, heating sensations from back bends, we're going to put it together for the full locust pose or shalabhasana. This is a great posture for strengthening the back muscles. Inhale, lift your chest up and forward like you're going to enter the Sphinx pose, and then take the hands back, opening your fingers, draw the belly in, and inhale, lift the legs, drawing your feet towards each other. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. 1, gaze at the nose tip. 2, lengthen and strengthen the back. 3, keep the mind calm and equanimous. 4, make sure your joints have a lot of space. The mind is calm, inwardly focused. And 5, bring your hands forward, push back onto your knees. This time, really important, keep the knees together as you push back to the child's pose. And we'll stay in child's for about 5 breaths. 1, 2, sink back into the hips. Squeeze the knees a little together to make for an activated child's pose. 3, 4, and lift your head, pressing through to the arms. Curl your toes under, push back to downward facing dog. Now this time in downward facing dog, we're going to make sure we're real comfortable. So we're going to twist the hips, drop the right knee in, and just easy twist the hips to draw the belly in. 1, 2, 3, 4, back to the center, and let's go for the other side. Twist that left knee in. 1, stabilize the shoulders. 2, 3, 4, back to the center. And now from here, switch your gaze forward and walk, walk, walk your feet all the way forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, easy fold forward. Inhale, come on up, leave your hands by your side, and pause for a moment to regain the center line. From standing, now we have all the pieces of the sun salutation. Sun salutations are a great way to really integrate the deep work of the yoga practice, involving forward bend, back bend, and igniting that inner fire of purification. Now, drawing the belly deeply in. Tune into the inner body for a moment, finding and connecting with the belly, dropping deep into the center. Bring your hands together at the center of the chest. We'll begin with Surya Namaskar A, or the first sun salutation. Inhale for the first breath, raising your hands high above the head, straightening the elbows. Exhale, bring your hands down and send the hips back as you pivot around the hip joints, bringing the hands towards the ground, crown of the head points down. Then inhale nice and slow, bringing your shoulders forward as the belly draws in, and then exhale as you flatten the palms, step back into the plank pose. From the plank pose, we're going to come down into a push-up. If you can't do a push-up, you're just going to hold plank. Exhale down to the Chaturanga Dandasana, that push-up position. And then inhale, roll forward. As you lift the chest up and forward, let's keep the neck long for this one. Root down into the heel of the hand, and then curl your toes under and push back to downward facing dog. Once you get down to downward facing dog, you can reposition the feet, making sure the hands are shoulder width apart and the hips are aligned with the feet. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. Draw the belly in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Looking forward, nice and slow. Move the shoulders forward and then inhale as you step the feet between the hands, lifting the ribs up and away from the hips, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up through the center line, press your palms into each other, and exhale, come on back to standing, releasing your hands. The fluidity of the sun salutations will light that inner fire. Repetition is really the key to success. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, raising your hands through the center line, gaze up at the thumbs. Exhale, pull the belly in as the hips move back, dropping the chest down over the thighs. Inhale, the chest moves away from the hips, slowly, fluidly, flattening the palms, and step all the way nice and gentle back to the plank pose. Remember, if you don't feel you can do the push-up, stay in the plank pose. Exhale down to the Chaturanga Dandasana, the 4-pointed staff pose. Then inhale, come up to upward facing and lift the ribs away from the hips like you're in Shalabhasana, that pose we did before to strengthen the back. And exhale, curl your toes under, send the hips back and up, then reposition the feet and the hands so you can move into a full downward facing dog. Now don't worry about if your feet aren't on the ground completely flat. It'll come with time and practice. 2, keep drawing the belly deeper in. 3, 4, and 5. Switching your gaze forward. Inhale, slowly, walking the feet between the hands, lifting the chest away from the hips, and then exhale, fold into the space that you create as you go down. Inhale, rise up through the center line, gaze up to the thumbs, all the way back to Samasthiti. Now we're going to move on to a slightly more complex and challenging version of the sun salutation. This is the B variation that will bring increased fire and cardiovascular strength into your body. Bending the knees, we'll take it nice and slow on the first one. Take your hands into prayer. We're going to break these movements down. Draw the knees into each other. And then inhale, raise your hands, gazing up at the thumbs. 1, 2, eventually we'll flow all the way through, but right now we'll just break it down. 3, 4, and exhale, send your chest onto your thighs, and then straighten the legs as much as you can. Inhale, move the chest away from the hips, and exhale, nice and easy, walk back to the plank pose. From plank, just like we did before, keep the belly pulled in and all the way to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, come forward to upward facing. Exhale, hips back and up to downward facing. If you can slide the feet a little forward, you'll land in a good downward facing position. Now we're going to step forward to the Warrior One pose. Turn the left foot out, step in the right foot forward, come onto your fingertips, and send that right knee over your foot. Inhale, lift your chest up, hands in prayer, and then inhale, hands all the way up. 1, 2, 3, keep the belly drawn deeply in. 4, and 5. Bring your hands back to prayer. Keep the belly in. Continue your exhalation as you take the hands down. Spin the left toe forward. Move weight onto your shoulders and step back into the plank pose. From plank, exhale, down to chaturanga. Inhale, come forward to upward facing, and exhale, back to downward facing. We're gonna try the other side, turning the right foot out. Step the left foot forward, come onto your fingertips. As you send that left knee forward, rooting down through the right heel. Inhale, bringing your hands in prayer. From the prayer position, root down through the center line, and inhale, raise the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, and bring your hands into prayer position. Exhale, continue down. Spin that right foot forward, take weight into the shoulders, step back with the left foot, find the plank. Then exhale, down to chaturanga. Inhale, come forward to upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. And again, take a moment, hands shoulder width apart, feet are hips width apart. Keep the belly pulled in and lengthen the spine. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switching your gaze forward. Inhale, walk your feet forward, sending the chest forward. Exhale, gently down, bending from your knees. And inhale, take your hands into prayer, hold it for a moment, stabilize through the legs. Then inhale, arms up, 5 more breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come all the way up, relaxing your hands by your side. We've ignited that inner fire, that fire of purification, which is also the light of knowledge. Now we'll test it with just a few balancing poses. We'll start off with the tree pose, drawing the right knee into your chest, externally rotate the right hip joint, taking your hands into prayer position, and let's hold this for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you feel you have a good sense of balance, inhale, bring your hands above your head and open the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, hands back to the center, dropping your hands down, bring your knee back, all the way back to standing. Let's do the left side. As you're moving through, transfer the weight onto the right side, externally rotate the left hip joint. If you feel your foot isn't going to be able to go all the way close to the groin, then leave the instep of the foot hugging the calf muscle like I'm showing you on this side. But if possible, close the knee joint completely and bring the heel up as close to the groin as possible. Press the right thigh into the left foot and hands in prayer. 1, 2, straighten your standing leg. 3, 4, draw the belly in. And 5. Inhale, raise your hands above the head if you've got good balance. Otherwise, you can keep the hands in prayer. 1, 2, keep your mind calm. 3, and no matter how many times you fall out, just pick it back up. Don't worry. 3, 4, and hands back to prayer. 1, draw the belly in. 2, 3, 4, and drop the hands down, drop the foot back, come all the way back to standing. Now we're going to move down to the floor and we're going to use just a little bit of the sun salutation A to get back down to the floor. Draw your hands into each other. Inhale, hands above your head. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bringing your chest forward. And exhale, let's step back to the plank pose. Hold plank for a moment and then exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale, come forward to upward facing, and exhale, back to downward facing. Now, come forward, placing your knees down, cross your feet under you and settle the hips down, bringing your legs all the way out in front. After you bring the legs out in front, flex the feet and spread the toes, draw the kneecaps up, suck the belly in, hands next to your hips for Dandasana position. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Suck the belly deeply in, move your chest forward and holding on to the shins, or if possible, grabbing hold of your toes. Inhale, lift the chest up and forward, and exhale, fold. 1, 2, if possible, point the crown of the head towards the toes. 3, keep the belly in and the thighs firm. 4, and 5. Inhale, send the chest up and forward. Exhale. Point your feet, glide your hands all the way back. And let's start off with bent knees for the tabletop, reverse tabletop pose. Draw the belly in, press the shoulders as you lift the hips up. 1, if possible, dropping the head back. 2, and 3. Exhale, sit the hips down. And if that worked for you, we're gonna straighten the legs. Otherwise, we can repeat again with the knees bent, shoulders forward. Inhale, lift the chest, dropping the head back, send the hips up and forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, sinking all the way down. Now, cross your feet underneath you, and exhale, slowly lie down. And inhale, bring your legs up. We'll hold this for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, gently lift the hips all the way over your head, pointing your feet, moving your hands to your back if your feet don't touch the ground. Inhale as you lift the hips all the way over the top of the head, reaching your legs down. Take the hands to the lower back first and really lift the hips up. And take a moment to see if your feet reach the ground. If the feet don't reach the ground, keep your hands supporting the lower back. Otherwise, point your toes if your feet are on the ground and interlock your fingers, placing the hands on the ground. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Curl your toes under, taking the hands to the back. Inhale, lift one leg up, and if you feel confident, bend the other knee, slide it up for the full shoulder stand. 1, 2, 3. We'll only be here for 5 breaths. Gazing at the nose tip, or close the eyes, keep the belly drawn in, and keep the hips lifted along the center line. 4, and 5. Drop your hands as you send the hips back. Support your weight with the hips. Draw the thighs into your body, open the hands, and slowly bending the knees, settle your feet to the ground. For a moment, rest in the constructive rest position. Stretch out your legs and close your eyes. Allow yourself a few moments of rest, welcoming those heating sensations. Then gently move your fingers and toes. Bend through the knees and the elbows back to constructive rest. Pull the knees into your chest for a moment and give yourself a little hug from side to side. Roll all the way over onto either your right or left side, whichever's more comfortable. Inhale, come on back up to seated. So this is the beginning of our summer yoga journey, and I hope you felt that inner fire moving in through the body, that fire that is synonymous with the light of awareness, the light of knowledge, and that inner fire of purification. Remember that yoga is essentially a spiritual journey, and that all of the poses are really just a tool for you to look deeply within yourself. And as you're looking within, discover the truth of who you really are. Discover and feel directly the inner being. Let that be your guiding light in every moment of your practice, and carry the seed of faith and peace with you into every moment and every breath of your whole life. Place your hands in prayer position, and we'll end with the sound Om. Thank you so much for letting me be your guide and for doing this practice with me. Namaste.